Hey, what's up, my fellow Americans? So, I wanted to get on here to say a few things that's been heavy on my heart. This country is about to pop off. Pop off meaning we're being about to be thrust into a civil conflict. As much as I hate to say that, and as much as it breaks my heart to hear that it's inevitable, it's gotten to the point to where it's no longer able to reason with the other side. You just can't reason with them. And even if when you show them that they're wrong, and when you show them that, when you prove them wrong, they always have some excuse as to why things the way that they are. And even when you show them and prove to them that they are absolutely wrong what they're saying, they always have some excuse to combat it. And the excuses they have makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So they're adding fuel to the fire. And unfortunately, the only way to get our country back to where it was before is through civil conflict. Like I said, as much as I hate to hear that, as much as I hate to see this happen to our country, because it's going to mean the destruction of our country. It's going to mean the destruction of our country. And those that fought in this country like I did, those who fought for this country like I did, those veterans that laid their life on the line to serve this country like I did. I spent 14 years in the military, and it hurts me to see that our country is on the verge of that. Because right now, the majority of Americans are not happy with what's going on in the Trump administration. The majority of Americans are not happy with ICE thugs and ICE Gestapos going from city to city, busting people's windshields, dragging them out of their cars by their hands, by their feet, by any means possible, slamming them to the ground and zip tying them, and then disappearing them off to some foreign country that they've never been to. And they're doing it with kids too. They had a raid in Chicago not long ago with Black Hawk helicopters where they descended upon an apartment building and took out children, lined them up on the sidewalk, and zip tied them and separated from their parents. This is not the America that I served. This is not the America that I laid my life on the line to protect. And the majority of Americans are very pissed off at this. They don't like what's going on right now, and especially the majority of the veterans. Because remember, the majority of the veterans are on the side of the people. They don't like what's going on because it's affecting them too. Shutting down the VA and stripping them of their benefits and everything, that's something a veteran will not take lying down, myself included. And for those majority of Americans that are against this, their voices are being heard. They're out on the streets protesting. They're out on the streets showing their disapproval. And yes, while I agree with peaceful protests and everything, I agree, peaceful protests always. But there comes to a point to where peaceful protests no longer work, and we need to take to the streets armed and show these Gestapo thugs that we're not going to put up with this. We're not going to have this in our country. We are not going to put up with these Gestapo thugs coming into our neighborhoods, coming into our streets, terrorizing our community and terrorizing our neighbors and terrorizing our neighborhood. We're not going to have that. And that's why I say it's time for Americans to take to the streets armed to show these Gestapo thugs that we're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to put up with this. I mean, they want to go on the streets armed to the gills like they're in Iraq or Afghanistan in some kind of war zone, on American streets. Never in the history of this country have you had heavily armed soldiers looking like they're getting ready to go into battle on the streets of America. And it's time, America. It's time. It's time you take your guns, take your arms, and take to the streets and protest. To show these thugs, to show these fascist thugs that we mean business and that we're not going to put up with this shit. We're not going to put up with this. So November 22nd, which is today, is a huge rally in D.C. They're going to surround the White House, surround the Supreme Court, and hopefully something gets done. This is the last straw that breaks the camel's back right here. If nothing gets done by peaceful protest, then it's time for Americans to take to the streets armed. Because that's what our Second Amendment is for. Our Second Amendment right is for that purpose only. To ensure a well-armed militia against a tyrannical government. And it's time we exercise our Second Amendment right. It's time. So with that being said, guys, be strong, be peaceful out there, and if you absolutely have to, and this protest, this peaceful protest, doesn't get results, move to step B. Take to the streets armed. Take to the streets with your guns. Show these fascists and these thugs that we're not going to put up with this, that the American people have had it, especially the veterans. Because it's harming the veterans too. It's harming the veterans in more ways than you can possibly think. Because right now, the majority of veterans don't like you. They don't like MAGA. They don't like your bigot, child molesting, child raping, pedophile, criminal supporting asses. They don't like a child rapist. They don't like a pedophile. They don't like a criminal. They don't like a child rapist. They don't support that. They don't like that. So, again, this is the last straw that's going to either break or make America. It's either going to break the straw that breaks the camel's back. If these peaceful protests don't work and nothing gets done, then it's time to take to the streets armed. Because I'm ready. I'm ready to take to the streets armed and show these thugs, these Gestapo thugs, that they're not going to get away with this. That they're not going to come into our community and terrorize our community. They're not going to come into our neighborhood and terrorize our neighborhoods. And they sure as fuck ain't going to come into our cities and terrorize our cities. They sure as fuck are not going to do that. Because we the people will show them. We the people will show them what we're capable of. So guys, be safe out there. Peace out, y'all. I love you. And fuck ICE, fuck Kristi Noem, fuck Donald Trump, and fuck this whole fascist regime. Read this, ICE. Fuck you.